Welcome back to Elizabeth's Cozy Kitchen, and today I'm going to be finishing off my Florentines. Um, so I have the lace Florentines. They're not very lacy, but please forgive me, they're raw. It can't be perfect. I'm not perfect. No. So I let these had to dehydrate longer than the crescent. So these are about 12 hours just to get to a point where I actually have to use a spatula. I don't very often. And I, spatula them off, that's my new word, off my Teflon sheet, and then put them on the dehydrator sheet, and so that they looked like this, and then they dehydrated for about another 8 hours. And so they're still soft, but they also become firmer once they've cooled, because right now they're warm, and once macadamia nuts cool, they'll be firmer. And so the last thing I have to do for these cookies, and I have 2 trays of this, so I have 2 trays of 16, and the last thing I have to do is drizzle some chocolate on it. So we're going to do that now. The first thing I have to do is make the chocolate. So in this blender I have 1 part cacao powder and 1 part powdered maple sugar, which is literally, I took maple sugar and I put it in the blender. I actually put it in the nut cup blender because I wanted a very, very fine sugar, and I blended it, and so now it's 1 cup, and they use a scale. You wanna get a scale for this one. 1 part cacao powder, 1 part maple sugar. If you want the recipe, if you want to learn more about how to make raw chocolate, I recommend you take the e-course by therawchef.com. So then I have 2 parts of cacao butter. Yeah, there's a lot of chocolate involved. It's confusing. So I melted this on the stove and kind of like a double boiler method, and I'm just going to start processing and pour it in. Okay, so I'm going to stop it for a moment because I want to scrape down the sides and check the temperature. I have my thermometer here, which is set to start beeping at 42 degrees. And we're already at 42 degrees because the cocoa butter was warm before we started. We're actually a little bit warm. It's 45. I'm just going to scrape down the sides and blend it for just another quick second to make sure it's completely blended. Okay, so then I'm going to transfer my chocolate liquid. I'm kind of curious what the temperature is. I just want to, so it's 42 degrees Celsius, and then, yeah, how high am I? We have to get it down to 31, and we're right at 42 right now. It's not going any higher, which is good. So I'm just going to scrape all of this chocolate goodness out of my blender. And I have a metal bowl. If you notice, I did not put it back into the glass bowl I used to heat up the cocoa butter, because that bowl is going to be warm. And what my goal is to get this down to 31 degrees. So I'm just going to keep stirring this. Yes, I know. Here, I'm going to turn off the alert. It's going to keep going off until I get it below a certain temperature. I'm just going to keep stirring this until I get down to 31. Making sure I scrape down the sides. And if you really want to learn how to do this, I really recommend taking that e-course. I'm just going to keep stirring and stirring. And what I'm going to do is I actually have some forms here too, because this is a lot of chocolate. It's way more than I need for my Florentines. So I'm also going to be making some chocolate molds. I have some Christmas themed ones. I'll just put in the chocolate into the mold. Maybe I'll make some Star Wars ones, because Star Wars is now a Christmas thing. It keeps coming out around Christmas time. I know I'll be visiting my sister for the holidays, and we're going to be watching Star Wars. I should have, I really wish I would have checked the temperature of the cocoa butter. It was warmer than I usually allow it to get. So this wasn't 41 degrees Celsius. This chocolate was about 50. And so it's taking a little bit longer to get it down to 31 because it was too warm. But I'm just going to keep stirring. And hopefully my arm doesn't get sore by the time we get there. So right now we're at 46. We're going to pretend we got there. Like I said, if you really want to know how to make chocolate, you can watch their videos. But what I'm basically, and one of those things about as it cools, it actually becomes a little bit thicker. But simply what you want to do is you want to drizzle the chocolate back and forth. And the spatula's working fine. You're just going to make a mess. I have it over the sink. Drizzle it back and forth over the cookie. I don't think I have this in the shot. I'll do it on my hand. What's a little chocolate on your hand? So you have the cookie, and then you just drizzle it back and forth like that. And I'll of course I'll have a close-up picture on the blog. And what that does is it's just decoration. It's just a little bit of chocolate. What you can also do is you can make like a sandwich, which I think these would be kind of too thick for you. You would put chocolate on this side and sandwich two of them together. But I like them like this. So there's my little lace Florentines and the chocolate on my hand. And so I hope you enjoy making these cookies. This is my favorite holiday cookie. And that's the hazelnut Florentines. I hope you enjoy sharing them with your family. And until next time, manja!